Whenever you're ready, guys.
How significant was that one for you, Matt?
Well, we had a chat out on the ground actually post the game and just had a good look around and reflected on what a strong win it was for us, considering we were playing against 50,000. That's about as loud as I've heard a stadium. Probably sits just in behind Adelaide Oval.
What did it take for you guys to get over the line?
Oh, just guts. And we were able to grind the game out. To have them coming at us in the last, and for our guys to stand up and just see it out, especially such a young group. And as I said before, the noise was. I was on the bench tonight, so I got to hear it. It was incredible. One of the best atmospheres that I've seen and been involved in. So for our guys to be able to stand up under that pressure and see it out and get a win, this is stuff that you just can't set up. Our young group, we're not playing finals this year, but we got a finals atmosphere today.
Good signs with Fogarty in that last quarter, with Taylor being pretty well held by Barras for him to step up and kick 3 goals. That's the sort of thing you're looking for, isn't it?
It is, and that's for Fog. That's been his form now. We've seen Fog string 5, 6, 7 weeks together of really impressive footy, where he's attacked the game. He's gone at the footy hard in the air. He's finished his work off as well, and he was, one of the standouts today, I thought, for us when it came to actually hitting the scoreboard. So really pleasing for him, and I've mentioned it every week. It comes off the back of hard work. A lot of work off field for Fog, working on that mental space and getting himself right, and so he's getting everything he deserves at the moment, and he should be really proud of what he's putting out there.
And Rory led from the outset, from the beginning of the game, 200th game as well, and he hit the ball running, didn't
He did, and Laddie's an incredible one, because we had a chat post game and I challenged him to. I'm not sure I remember any game where he hasn't had 30 possessions. Well, he told me he's played 197 over 30 at the end of the game, and some of the boys did as well. So it's every week with Rory Laird. As a halfback, when he started his career out, he's so damaging. We've now found a spot for him in that midfield. This is a guy who holds a tackle record for a game and still gets possession, first possession out of stoppage. He's such a player, we rate him so highly within the 4 walls. And I know he's rated around the league, but it's tough. When we're not winning games of footy, I understand that maybe sometimes players like he can be overlooked. But, again today, he just put his head in and fought for us. And he's got a couple of wingmen now. Sam Berry in there as well. Sam's learning a lot from Rory. So it's a really positive for us.
Just in terms of an opposition coach looking in at what Josh Kennedy did today, what are your thoughts there?
Doesn't surprise me at all. I was lucky enough to get over and chat to him just prior to where we, paid tribute to what he'd been able to do. He's one of the most respected players, if not the most respected player in the league. And I respect the way he goes about it, the way he holds himself. And I hadn't met him before, but it just oozes class. And we could basically see it at the end of the game. The fact that 50,000 were still sitting in their seats and had not left the stadium was such a tribute to such a good footballer. We knew he'd have an impact on this game. I think he kicked 8 goals in the end. They're probably looking for him a fair bit. But there's one thing to say, it's going to happen, and another thing to actually do it. I thought for a minute there he's going to take it away from us, but outstanding career, and he goes out a legend of this footy club.
As you touched on, they were looking for him pretty much all game. Tactically, how hard was it to try to stop it, even though you knew that was what was going to happen?
Yeah, well, we didn't get it right in the first half. And some will talk about the matchup, and it wasn't the matchup at all. We kept Butsy back there on him, and Nick Murray and the boys did it, worked on that together. But we got a lot of things wrong in that first half, where we didn't have the connection on defence. They took far too many uncontested marks. They moved the ball on us. We didn't have any front of centre footy, so we gave them as much opportunity as they could to their forwards. But again, to the group's credit, we were able to regroup at half time, and we changed the game. We turned it on its head. We played the ball front of centre. I think we ended up with 14 or so in the second half, front of centre turnovers. So there's a bit in that the game wasn't where we wanted it, and we were able to change the game. Even though the scoreboard, we were really pleased to come in at half time and be as close as we were. We knew that they'd still be looking to their guns forward of the ball, so they should be. You know, they're guns for a reason, but we were able to do it as a team. We started to work on our team defence, and really pleased with that part of the game.
You mentioned the 50,000 against you today. It must have felt like a couple of million against you at different times this week, different punches to the face every second day. How did you handle that when you're trying to keep the focus on a game of footy?
Yeah, we're an extremely professional young group, staff and players. So we put our heads down and we went to work. We had a job to do this week. We had an 8-day break, which sometimes is good for the body, but you'd rather get straight back into it. If you feel your form's going well, and we felt really good coming off our last win. So we wanted to get over here and play footy, but nothing changed during the week. Our guys were professional. They went to work. We got across here and we were ready to play. And in the end, we got the result we're after. So really pleasing.
Human though, so they couldn't have missed the talk around the club. Like, how do you address a young group who have got that going on in the background?
We're open and honest conversation, as we have done for 2.5 years now. Obviously, a lot of support goes around our staff and our players. That's nothing new, though. That's something that we're working on. We're all about prioritising others. We do a lot of work in that space, a lot of work off-field. So from our point of view, there was no change this week. It was just making sure we were all on the same page and we're all here for each other. We knew we'd come into a more hostile environment today, and so that was all part of it.
Were there any extra talk or meetings with the players that were still around from 2018? Was there any extra attention or discussions with them?
Look, as I said, we have discussions ongoing all the time. We're very open about where it is we're at, what we're working on, but we made sure that we had support around every person we could. And as I've mentioned, during the week, I'll continue to do that and look to catch up, talk to a number of players that aren't here with us any longer, some that have retired, some that have gone to other clubs. We're always looking to put an arm around those that need it, and also stay in touch with those that don't, because we're doing a lot of work to look at the past at this footy club, look at the history of it, why we are what we are. We've got an incredible history as a football club. And so we'll keep trying to bring those guys back in and put support around them.
Has it got potential to hamper your pre-season, to linger in that long and be a pain for you as a coach during pre-season?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. No, as I mentioned before, we're a professional outfit. We may be young and some things we're not quite getting on field right. We feel like we're not that far away as a group, but I can't question the professionalism around our football club. And as I mentioned before, that's on field, but it's also off field. We've got an amazing group of people, our admin staff upstairs, all the way through to our footy department.
Can I just ask about Will Hamill today?
Yeah.
Concussed, that's, I think, 6 concussions. Are you worried about him, and does he need to change? I haven't seen all 6. Does he need to change something up?
You'll be telling him not to compete. Today's is one of those ones where it's a collision going back with the ball. But it is concerning. But it's something that we're well and truly on top of with Will, and we won't take any chances. Everything we do with Will is about his welfare, and so we'll make decisions around, take absolutely no risk in that space. Will's got a game where he just loves to compete, and so he'll go for every ball that's there. He probably doesn't weigh quite as much as some of the players that run into him. So this will be one we'll monitor, but he will be out. He's under the protocols as far as I'm aware.
Taylor Walker had a very quiet game today. He was captain in 2018. Do you think that the events of this week affected him moving into this match?
I think he had an outstanding opponent playing on him today as well, in Barras, who impacted the game substantially. And again, there's a lot of things to the way we play our footy where we weren't giving him the best opportunity, especially through that first half. We changed a little bit up in the second half. He played a really important role for us in that, which will go under the radar, but we'll keep that one to ourselves. But the way he took team first in that second half and changed his role, and you guys mentioned it, Darcy Fogarty stepped up. It is some of the other things we look at where we value team roles well and truly over what might be seen on the TV. And he was instrumental in some of the stuff we did second half.
Not him being captain at the time, how much does it still weigh on him?
Look, I can't speak for Tex when it comes to that, but I can tell you we've had a number of conversations, and he'll continue to put his head down and go to work for our young group. This week, as I said before, we just went to work as a group. Tex was one of those. There's none that train better than him, and at the level. So it's one of those games where he'll put that one to the side and he'll move on and play next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.